Every era creates its own monsters. The Gothic Age gave us vampires and crumbling castles. The Atomic Age, creatures mutated by radiation. Our era, the Digital Age, has birthed a monster of a different kind, one forged in the collaborative crucible of the internet, yet one that feels excavated from our most primal past. This entity has no single author, no definitive origin story. It is a meme in the truest Dawkinsian sense, an idea that replicates, mutates, and evolves within the ecosystem of human fear. Its name is the Slender Man, and to understand him is not to prove his existence, but to diagnose a specific modern strain of terror. The Slender Man defies simple categorization. He is less a biological entity and more a set of recurring hostile perceptual parameters, a syndrome imposed upon reality. His primary characteristic is proportional violation. He presents as a humanoid male, but one stretched on a rack of nightmare logic. His height is never fixed. He is simply taller than he should be, often described as 7 to 9 feet, but capable of appearing to loom against the sky. His limbs are long, slender, and articulate with an insectile, jointless precision. The infamous tentacles, alternately described as black ropes, prehensile branches, or boneless extra limbs, protrude from his back. Crucially, they are rarely seen in clear detail. They are a peripheral vision phenomenon, a suggestion of writhing movement just outside the focal point, reinforcing the idea that his full form cannot be comprehended by a stable, sane mind. He is perpetually clad in a perfectly tailored black suit, a white shirt, and sometimes a tie of red or gray. This is not casual attire. The suit is a critical component of his horror. It represents order, civility, authority, the thin veneer of human society. By wearing it, he performs a grotesque parody of the businessman, the undertaker, the authority figure. He is the system turning predatory. The suit also creates a stark visual contrast against natural settings, making him an impossible industrial stain on the organic green of the forest. He does not interact with the environment, he infects it. Leaves do not rustle under him. Snow bears no footprints. His movement is described as a glide or a teleport, a sudden translation from one point to another that bypasses the intervening space. This suggests a being not entirely subject to our physics. His most powerful weapon is his stillness. To find him already standing, watching, implies he has been there for hours, days, or longer. An eternal sentinel you have only just noticed. The Slender Man's hunting strategy is a masterclass in psychological warfare, operating in distinct escalating phases. Contrary to classic ghosts, the Slender Man is often said to be summoned by knowledge, the act of seeking information about him, scouring forums, studying blurred images, sharing stories, is likened to typing his name into a dark search engine of the universe. This creates a feedback loop of paranoia where the researcher becomes both the hunter and the hunted. The line between curiosity and obsession blurs, and the individual enters a state of heightened susceptibility. This is the phase of subtle violations. It begins with environmental distortions, electronics malfunctioning, streetlights flickering out as one passes, cell phones losing signal, cameras producing slender sickness, blurry, distorted images with temporal artifacts. Then come the sightings. These are never confrontational. He is seen at great distance down a long road or in the reflection of a window. He stands behind you in a photograph you took of an empty room. He is the recurring figure in the dreams of everyone in a household. The goal is not attack, but the irrevocable implantation of the idea. You are being watched by something that should not exist. In some of the most chilling narratives, direct confrontation is preceded by a state of trance. Victims report a sudden draining of fear, replaced by a blank, hollow calm. An external will supplants their own, issuing a silent, compelling command to approach. They walk, often in a straight line through obstructive terrain toward the waiting figure. This represents the ultimate horror, the violation of the inner sanctum of the self, the reduction of a person to a puppet whose strings are held by a silent, shapeless thing in a suit. The aftermath is defined by absolute absence. There is no struggle, no forensic evidence. People vanish from locked rooms from the midst of crowds, leaving behind only static on a baby monitor or a single, unaccountable sentence scribbled in a diary. Those who return are rarely whole. They suffer from profound amnesia, fugue states, or a permanent catatonic dissociation, their minds seemingly scrubbed clean or filled with a static that drowns out coherent thought. The Slender Man doesn't leave a corpse. He leaves a null space. While his current iteration is digital, the archetype he embodies is a persistent stain on human history. These are not claims of his literal existence, but evidence of a recurring psychic silhouette, a meme existing long before the internet. We see him in the 16th century German woodcuts of Hans Freckenberg, where a spindly, multi-limbed Ritter stands amid scenes of plague and despair, a personification of cosmic malignancy. He is the Der Grossman of Black Forest folklore, not a fairy but a punitive spirit who would follow disobedient children home, his steps silent on the forest path. A harrowing 1702 journal entry from the region describes a child's terror of the angel outside his window. The subsequent mutilation of livestock and the boy's disappearance, presaging the modern myth's beats with uncanny precision. In Romanian tales, he is a nobleman shrouded in cloudy midnight, his many arms sharp as swords, whose silent presence drives families to murder and suicide. In Scottish lore, Fear Doob, the Dark Man, is a faceless entity of the moors. The Dutch Takkenman, Branchman, and the English Tree Man speak of a sylvan terror with limbs of knotted wood. Japanese legends tell of the Nopperabo, the faceless ghost, often preceding more violent yokai. These are distinct cultural entities, yet they share a common grammar of fear. Tall, thin, faceless, associated with forests and the corruption of the mind. His specific modern synthesis occurred on the Something Awful forum. It was a challenge. Create a paranormal image. What emerged from user Victor Surge was not just a photoshopped figure, but a foundational lore. 2 black and white photographs of children with a tall, suited figure lurking in the background. The accompanying text, presented as archival captions, spoke of mass disappearances and wildfires. This was genius. It provided the aesthetic, the period photos, and the narrative framework, the cover-up, the missing children in one stroke. The internet then became his ecosystem, growing him through Creepypasta, independent web series like Marble Hornets, and video games like Slender the 8 Pages. This is the central, unanswerable question that fuels the horror. The Slender Man's motivations are utterly alien. He is a cosmic hunter, and we are his prey. His stalking is the play before the kill. The vanishings are his feeding. He is an archivist of terror or a curator of souls. He does not consume his victims but preserves them in some unthinkable dimension, cataloging their final frozen moments of fear. He is not an entity at all, but a psychic archetype, a thought form or egregor that gains strength from belief. His goal is simply to propagate, to replicate his mythos by driving people to create more stories, more images, more fear. He is a meme-seeking virulence. His purpose is not to do anything but to undo. He is entropy given consciousness. His presence erodes reality, sanity, and identity. He is the walking manifestation of the universe's indifference, a black hole that consumes meaning itself. The Slender Man is the perfect monster for the 21st century. He is a distributed narrative. He thrives on the very tools of our connection, the internet, cameras, social networks, turning them into instruments of surveillance and terror. He is faceless like an online profile. He is relentless like a notification stream. He destroys sanity, the ultimate personal data. He is more than a story. He is a cultural test. He asks, in an age where all knowledge is at our fingertips, what happens when we discover something that knowledge cannot explain, only exacerbate? He is the warning that the oldest shadows have learned to navigate the new darkness. The darkness behind your screen, the silence in your headphones, the empty space at the edge of the frame where something has just stepped out of sight. He is the myth that proves we still need myths, not for comfort, but to give a name to the formless dread that watches and waits from the endless digital wood. Or maybe not.